we have been discussing the impact of ego in our day-to-day life. Because the ego makes our life not only active but also creates a lot of complications. And moreover, if we try to see very carefully, and especially if we try to see our past activities, we will be able to discover, we'll be able to trace how our ego has made us to work differently at different times. That's why one need to look at the past memories, past incidents, not to judge, not to resolve, but to see how the ego has made us to work or function. Generally, a common person looks at the past or forced to look at the past because of sense of hurt, sense of guilt, sense of depression and whatnot. You can say in negative way. And some people look at positive way, also past. Maybe you can call them as very optimistic. They look at past to resolve the conflict. Whether I have sense of guilt, sense of hurt, or any other thing, anger. So also I can look at my past to resolve them. But here we are talking, neither you should look at the past as a common person looks at, nor you have to look at your past in a positive way to resolve. But here one need to look at the past, how the ego has made me to function. Because everywhere the ego, that fellow is there. Because without ego, there cannot be any sense of heart. Without ego, there cannot be any anger. The one of the best example that we say, that let us say in summer now, especially in Italy summer is very bad if you look at. So what you do, you feel like jumping into the sea, water body, wherever, whatever. Let us say now you have a sailing boat. So when you have a sailing boat, you are in the sea. Now you are relaxing. The sailing means you are relaxing, supposed to be okay. But there are people, they get more stressed. That's really, you cannot help them out. Because as per the rule, sailing means you should be relaxed because nothing is involved. It's a very nice thing to do, okay? Because indirectly I'm telling, I feel like doing, okay? That's why. Which I cannot do here. Maybe I have to put a boat in the Ganga, I'll go somewhere, okay? However, so in sailing, the best part is because you don't use engine, you don't do anything, only with the help of the wind, you try to navigate and reach. Very relaxing thing. So when you are relaxing completely, suddenly you discover there is a boat, that too speed boat is coming. Now what will happen to you? All your relaxation, everything will go, you will start shouting, hey, it's going to come to hit me, because you discover exactly it is going to come and hit you. And that will in maximum 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. What will happen? Will you start shouting or not? Now when you keep shouting, then what to do? But you discover, no, that fellow is exactly coming, that boat is exactly coming towards you. Definitely it is going to hit. Even though, please understand, even though your boat is perfect, because sailing boat stable and everything, but generally what you will do? Please understand. You will start looking at panic. What is to be done? Suddenly you discover there is nobody on the boat. The boat, there is nobody at all. Engine is start moving. Now what will happen? Will you be able to shout at? Because there is no point of shouting. You will try your level best how to negotiate your boat to escape from the accident. Can you see this point? Because there is no point. Only you can shout if there is another person. If there is no navigator, there is nobody, absolutely nobody, there is no point of shouting at all. Can you see this point? It's a live example. Same thing also here in this body boat. If there is no navigator called ego, who can shout at? And even if somebody shouts, that's their problem. It's like you shouting, nah, don't do. Then suddenly you discover there is nobody. What you will do? In fact, you will say, why did I waste shouting my time? I could have negotiated before. Because last moment when you try to negotiate, only you escape with 1 feet difference. Only 1 feet or 1 meter difference. Then you will say, you will start cursing yourself. Why did I shout fast? I could have seen whether anybody is there or not. Appa, anyway, I escaped. So, this ego, the navigator in this boat called body, plays a big role in our life. That's why I have to be very careful, not with the boat, but with the navigator. That is what is being taught. But remember, this boat and navigator are interlinked. It's a very funny boat, okay? Like there are people, owner of boat, okay? If you go for sailing once in a while, you enjoy. But the owner never enjoys. The worst thing is, after coming back, in the dock, we have to pay parking charges. And some people do, I am not telling you jokes, okay? In order to avoid the parking charges in the dock, in the night they will sleep, not in the dock, in the sea, put the longer and sea. It's very funny to sleep, to be very honest, okay? And don't ask me, how do you know all these things, okay? Hey, when you want to enjoy nearby, if there is a dock, if there is a port, go and pay some parking charges, enjoy, sleep properly, you understand? No. Okay, when you cannot get a port, suppose you are in the mid-sea, of course that is a different thing altogether. However, coming back to the point, so this boat and the navigator, this body boat and navigator ego are interlinked. As I gave you the example of the owner of the boat, not the one once in a while goes, okay? That's why remember, if you want to enjoy the sailing, never ever buy the boat, okay? Take the help of some of your friend and enjoy, say namaste. However, let us read how is it connected, this next verse. Dehatmana sanstita eva kami vilakshana kamayita katham syat. 3:1:1. Ato artha sandhana parattvameva Bheda prasaktya bhavavanda hetu. Says beautifully. Bhavavanda hetu. So bhavavanda hetu means what? the cause of the bondage. And what is that bondage? When you say cause, the cause of the bondage, so what is that cause of the bondage? The bondage is nothing, the sense of becoming. So that's why you say bondage of becoming. So the bondage is nothing, remember, sense of becoming. Then what is freedom? Simple. Sense of being. Becoming becomes bondage. Being becomes freedom. Okay? एक 1 मिनट, मैं अभी क्लास में हूँ, मैं आपको टेलीफोन कर रहा हूँ बाद में. धन्यवाद. I am sorry because this internet people. So what is being highlighted here is that so bhava bandha hetu. So this is the sense of becoming, and of course how it happens, why there is sense of becoming, bheda prasakya. So wherever there is the concept of duality, the idea of duality, thinking differently, that only pushes you. In fact, that leads to the sense of becoming. That's why when this is that, and of course, how it happens, that also we need to look at. He says beautifully, देहात्मना संस्थित एव कामी विलक्षणः. So when this kami, so kami means the one who has kama. So kama means the desire to enjoy. So desire to enjoy here, instead of bhogi, he uses the word kami, means the desire to enjoy, the desire itself is stronger. That becomes predominant. And of course, when that is predominant, then what happens? That person automatically identifies dehatmana sanstitah. So he who considers that Atma is Deha. So I am nothing but the body. So that means he or she is very clear. My body is me. That's why this hedonist Charbak group, Yavat Jivet, Shukham Jivet. That's beautiful. As long as you live, may you live happily. Runam kutva ghrutam pivet. Even if you go for a debt, but I am adding it little differently. Beg, borrow or steal. Makes no difference. But what you need to do? Runam kutva ghrutam pivet, those days, not nowadays. So ghrutam means ghrutam vai ayu. So the ghee indeed is called longevity. This is truth, remember this. Unfortunately, the ghee is being projected differently by these doctors. But you can have omega, no problem. But you should not have ghee. So everybody goes for omega. And omega has got a big market all over the world. In fact, if somebody is having little bit ghee, and of course exercise, must. See, not only your ojas, your aura will increase, your knee pain, all the pain will go away. Of course, little cholesterol will come, but you need to burn also. You need to burn it. There is a big difference. Anyway, let me not get into that mood. Ghrutam pivet runam krutva ghrutam pivet. So may you drink ghee for longevity, for health and health purpose. Even if you don't have money, borrow it. Or you can add, what do you call? Beg, borrow or steal. Do you know? This is up to this, somehow it is manageable. First line was perfect. Yavad jibet sukham jibet. Perfect. There is no problem at all. As long as you live happily. Second line, little controversy. But the last line is why this is the dangerous logic. Bhashmibhutasya dehasya punaragamanam kutah. Have you ever seen a person whose body has been cremated or put in the coffin in the burial ground? Have you ever seen that fellow has come back? Unless one person, okay? Have you ever seen the person, anybody has come back? So when nobody has come back, so why to really waste our life? Let us enjoy. In fact, present day, this group is called Charbak group. Those days we had. Present day, all youngsters belong to this category. And of course, so-called religious, those who are fed up of religion, rebellious of religious group, they also come under exactly this category. Let us live, let us enjoy our life. So why? Because when this is the attitude, for them, Deha Sarvaswa is Jivanam. So when I say Deha Sarvaswa, means the physical body is everything for them. That's why you can say how people are crazy from morning to evening to take care of the body. Hey, remember, whatever you may do, I'm sorry to say, how long you can sustain your body this way? How long can you maintain this body this way? Whether you like it or not, look, this hair not only become grey, also it will start falling down. You can't. It will not work. I'm sorry to say it will never work. It has never worked for anybody. How it will work for you? That's why he says, look, Dehatmana Sanstita Eva Kami. So the one whose main priority is to enjoy, desire to enjoy, that person, whether likes it or not, will be completely connected to physical body. Can you see this? Now when that person is completely now that connected to the physical body, he thinks that is what the life is, and that person will start what? Definitely will start thinking to enjoy, because basically he is interested in what? Different type of sense pleasures. Because without getting connected to the physical body or prioritizing or giving importance to the physical body, nobody can be able to enjoy either. It is impossible. Now he says, look, there is another type of people, the one who thinks Bilakshana Kamayita Sat Ataha. So the one who thinks that I am different from the body. Now the moment you start thinking that I am different from body, that means I am not body, I happens to be in the body. Now tell me, how can that person be able to enjoy or become greedy of sense pleasures? It is impossible. So when this happens, definitely that person, what happens? It says beautifully, Ataha, therefore what happens? Now, okay, sat, Ataha, hence, therefore, Artha Sandhana Paratvam Eva Veda Prasaktiya Bhavavanta Hetu. And because of this reason, what happens? Says beautifully, the tendency of going behind sense object becomes the cause of the bondage of worldly pleasure and of course the sense of duality. So in short, it is being highlighted that when I look at my body is everything. So instead of, somebody said very nicely, so instead of checking whether I am alive or not, okay, you understand? Morning when you get up, better to, check whether you are alive or not, okay? So instead of checking that whether you are alive or not, what you check? First go to the mirror. Oh God, there is one grey hair. Oh God, there is a pimple. Oh God, there is wrinkles. You understand? When that comes, that becomes the priority in my life. Imagine what will happen. Hey, not that you should not take care of your body. That's another kind of, hey, I don't bother. You understand? Hey, God said, you don't bother, but we bother. Do you know why we bother? Because if something goes wrong, who is going to take care of your body? You understand? Hey, please take care of your body well, okay? So you need to take care of your body so that you will not be burden on anybody, nor on yourself either. You understand? But that does not mean that completely, only to take care of the physical body. There are people, morning to till evening, they are busy to take care of the body. And of course, a lot of jokes we get, about the ladies and other things. You give 1 hour, 2 hours, or 5 hours for getting ready, they never gets ready. In fact, they will take 5 minutes extra. They will take, and there are ladies within 2 seconds they will get out. Okay, I'm ready. It's extremes. Men also nowadays, they take their own time. Okay, how does? Because they take their own time. Do you know why? Playing with the phones. Okay, or doing. However, let us not get into. So that means it's very clear. The enjoyment becomes predominant, or I think that I want to enjoy. The sense of enjoyment in me becomes predominant at that moment when I discover that I am more attached to my physical body. So that means the more I am attached to my physical body, the more I become a gross person. Can you see this point? This is the point to arrive at, nothing else. And if I am a gross person, what will happen? You know better. I will only attract gross people around me. Because the way I am, accordingly I will attract people. So if I am a subtle person, of course I will attract better people in my life. So that's why here when it is being taught, how then, let us look at the next verse, so that will go ahead. Karya pravardhanat bija pravati paridushyate karya nasa bija nasa tasmat karya nirodhayet. Say, he says, look, karya pravadhanat. That means, so karya means any effect, any activities. Pravardhanat, the growth. Pravardhana means growth. Very well grow. Vardhana means to grow, birth. Here is prakarshana, all around. So that means because of the growth of the effect or activities, now what will happen? Bija pravuddhiti, bija pravuddhiti. It is exact like, if the plant grows very well and lot of flowers in the plant, that's it. Not only plant grows, only plant grows but no flowers. But along with the plant growth, lot of flowers grows. Now along with the flowers also fruit will come. So when fruit starts growing, this is called overall growth. Automatically the seed inside the fruit will grow or not. And of course, this is what we see it. Then he says, Karya nasa vijanasa iti. So if the plant does not grow, even if plant goes properly, even if flower comes very small flowers, fruit will be small, the seed will be also horrible, you understand? So Karya nasa, so if there is destruction of Karya, the effect or any activities, Vijanasa, the result of it, all the seed, let us say, the result of it, of course, is destroyed. Tasmat, therefore, Karyam nirodhayat iti. That's why what you do, don't do. That's a beautiful way of saying. Instead of entering into the muddy water, mud, and coming out and washing your feet, better don't get into the mud. Because if you get into the mud, what are you going to get? Nothing you are going to get. Again, you have to spend a lot of time to wash your feet. And I have observed with the mud, I am not telling you this, I have seen this very carefully. Physical mud, mental mud is worse, okay? I am coming to mental mud, okay? Don't worry. Physical mud, if you get in, even if you try to wash, somewhere or other something will get stuck, little bit also. Even if you try all your best with the jet and whatnot, nowadays you can use the jet to clean the mud, okay? So you clean everything, fantastic. So you think it is clean, no problem. Do you know what happens? When the leg dries, you will discover that the glaze from the leg goes away because that mud color, that whitish color comes. So you need to apply little oil on that. Then only it will come back to the normal. It's a very big process. Imagine if this happens with reference to physical mud, external mud. What to talk of mental mud? And you know better. Because at least physical mud, other can understand you, okay? Mental mud, nobody will understand. Nobody need not understand. Only you know what hell you are going through. And nobody will understand. Somebody told me very nicely, Swamiji, nobody understands me. My question is, why others should understand you? Have you ever tried to understand others? Please understand, this is a beautiful point to observe. Whenever you say, nobody understands me, what does it mean? You have never tried to understand others. If you have tried to understand others, you will never say that nobody understands. So never ever use the word nobody understands me. Because I should look at, hey look, I have not tried to understand others. This is called one type of mental mud. Please understand. However, coming to the point, that's why one has to be very careful with reference to activities. Because mind suggests, or some people, I don't have anything to do, let me do this. That is the one of the dangerous thing to do. Especially teenagers. This is how every teenager picks up the habit. If you ask all over the world, whenever a teenager develops a habit, because of what? Nothing to do. Plenty of time and the friendship. You can say negative or bad friendship. Some suggestion comes, hey, nothing to do, let us try. Curious mind. then that fellow gets into some excitement, something different, some different feeling, some exclusiveness. Then what happens? The person gets addicted to. Whether it is alcohol, whether it is smoking, or playing the cards, or anything. This happens because there is nothing to do. This is for teenagers. You look at yourself. Many times you get addicted to many things because nothing to do. Whether they are helpful or not, you don't look at them. When you start looking at, yes, I am addicted to this because it gives me growth. I am able to see growth. That becomes your lifestyle, not addiction. Can you see this point? But most of the time we are addicted. For example, this is what many people do it. For example's sake, I am trying to tell you. When there is nothing to do, people munch. And worst thing is potato chips. Okay? I am not telling you jokes. To be very honest, now for a long time I didn't have potato chips. I loved it, okay? Now. Appa. Because it is really good not to have potato chips. Now to be very honest, maybe I have not taken till I left, maybe last time I had a potato chips in Italy, that's all. So, to be very honest, in India I have, because generally I don't take. Of course in India I have my one problem. If I see my Orissa mixture, I don't stop, okay? That is there. Don't ask me, okay? I have my own problem, okay? Sorry. So the point here that as an adult there is nothing to do. So somebody keeps the potato chips next to you because this is how I get spoiled, okay? To be very honest. Swamiji, no, I don't want. Swamiji, please. You can keep whatever bowl, whatever you can keep it and go away. Don't worry. After a few minutes, no. Finally you will discover there will be nothing left, okay? One piece to put is very difficult. Once you put one piece, second piece don't ask, okay? Automatically, without your knowledge, hand goes. Everybody eats all over the world. I don't know what is there in potato. Everybody loves, okay? Unless you are allergic to potato. That's another case altogether. However, coming to the point, that when you start eating or getting addicted, first eating potato, then getting addicted, and of course consequences of it you know better, let me not talk. Now this action, how it creates a lot of confusion and complication in your life. So that is what is being highlighted. Why to look at the action first of all. If you do only action, then only you are caught with the seed, with the result. Then what is to be done? Let us look at. Again he talks about it. Vasana bruddhita karyam. Karya vruddhya cha vasana. Vardhate sarvatha punsah. Samsaro na nivartate. Says beautifully. Vasana buddhitah karya buddhi karya buddhya cha vasana vardhate iti. Very nice way of looking at life. Literally, we are in between. How? When the vasana is increases, means stronger, now because of that reason, automatically work also increases. And of course, when increasing of work activities increases. Accordingly, Vasana also increases. And he says, look, it is not a win one way. All by all means, overally. He says, Punsha samsara na nivartate. And because of this reason, what happens? The person is not able to come out of this whirlpool called samsara. Literally cut in this samsara. How? Let us look at. Now if you look at, whenever Vasana is strong in me, any Vasana, we have discussed what is Vasana. Very clearly we have discussed, we have been discussing, don't bring, only impressions, no. Unattended, unresolved thoughts. Also can be thinking process. It can be a thought, also it can be a thinking process. The complete process itself also can be considered as Vasana. And this unattended, unresolved thought or thinking process is not mere impressions. That is being carried forward, God knows since when. Either from this life or previous life or God knows which life. That which cannot be figured out, cannot be traced. If you can trace, fantastic. If you cannot, better. That's why in India especially, when they look at a critical illness of a person, generally they try to look at Bhrugu Samhita. Through Bhrugu Samhita, they try to figure it out what this person did in his previous or her previous life. Because of that reason, there is a critical illness. They try to figure it out. So that means definitely something is related to previous life, if not this life. And especially prarabdha, as you know, the health is related to the prarabdha. Prarabdha is nothing but a previous life impact, not this life. Very clear. That's why they look at very nicely, very carefully. This is how the analysis happens. So here is being said differently, that when Vasana is strong in me, now based on the Vasana, now there is some type of void, there is some type of emptiness in me. That is what the job of the Vasana. Now when there is a void, there is emptiness. Now I want to fulfill that void. I want to take care of that emptiness. So when I want to take care of that emptiness, what I do? So definitely I have to work. Now when I work, yes, I take care of that emptiness. Do I create more different type of emptiness or not? Just imagine, okay, how it happens. It is exactly like, I cannot forget one incident. I can share with you very carefully and personally, okay? Please don't misunderstand me. I have really seen this incident. I cannot forget in my life. There was a place where there was, some great opera, let us say. And like thousands of people are there. It is impossible to go to the front to sit, to get a place. So how to get a space? It's not a joke. And especially when you go late. Impossible to go unless you go to the front and see, you cannot. So how to do it? The fellow was so, I cannot say brilliant, so stupid. I have to really look at it. The mind works fantastically. So what that fellow has done, he has planned and gone. So he has got hold of one small non-poisonous snake and put in a box and carried in his hand. Nobody will notice. No, he easily made it alive, no properly. Then what happens, goes inside and puts this snake. And non-poisonous, absolutely no problem. Now what will happen? Whoever touches What will happen? Snake, snake, snake. Once snake sound comes, what happens? You know. Everybody gets up, this fellow enters, goes inside completely. But he forgot. Because of this reason, that whole yatra or whole opera was stopped. This is the consequences I am giving, nothing else. Okay, this is my example, just to communicate this much, okay, nothing else. So he thought he can be smart to go to the front. But because of this, everything got stopped. That he never thought. The purpose itself is lost. Can you see this point? Now, when we look at this example, which is a very practical example that I have seen, okay, that's why I am sharing it open. In fact, after that we scolded him. Neither you could see, nor we could see, okay? It's a waste of our time also. He said, no, something will happen. I said, look, now it's a big mess. Now let us look at ourselves. In the name of fulfilling our vasana, when we get into activities, do we get into this mode of snake and not seeing the yatra or opera at all or not? Sometimes life happens exactly like this. So we work a lot to fulfill my vasana. Fantastic, nothing wrong in it. To attend my unresolved, unattended thoughts. Fantastic, you must. In fact, that is the rule. Please understand. Because you have to resolve. If you don't resolve, next life you have to come to resolve. Remember this point. Neither you nor me, nobody can escape. Remember this. You have to resolve. And that is how the relationship, that is what the life is all about it. But the point here is, whether I am resolving or making more complicated, am I not supposed to ask this question to myself? Can you see this point? So this verse very clearly highlights, while trying to resolve my conflict or trying to attend my vasana, am I resolving or making it more complicated? And if I make it more complicated, definitely I cannot be released. I will not be able to be away from, free from this samsara whirlpool in the process of called sense of becoming.